Hi guys, reacting to Yarn Hub again, and I'm gonna ball this yarn up while watching it, cause look, it's about to break open, and this is for a commission I just got. I have to make a couple hats, so let's watch this Armored Outlaws Last Stand.
It's the winter of 1880, and in the middle of the night, John Stanistreet, the station master at the remote South Australian settlement of Glenrowan, gets woken by a knock at the door. Jumping out of bed and dressing quickly, the door
Someone is
burst
knocking
open.
at my door. What?
Jacqueline.
I'm doing a reaction video right now.
Well, is this thing of... Just open the door and I'll show it to you. Say yes or no.
I gotta cover my camera because you don't want to be on.
Is this for me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I heard that. You're okay?
Yeah, and I managed to get a big discount on it,
Well,
like half off.
thank you very much.
Jackie,
What?
hey,
I'm doing a reaction video.
listen. I needed to go to Farm Supply to get a spray that's got worms and a leg.
Yeah?
So I need to go and I need to put the check in the bank. And after that, when I come back, I'm going to cook the pasta. Please?
Okay.
I want to get it done. Okay?
Yeah?
Right away.
Okay, so Amanda's thanking me for getting her like, noon things. And my uncle, I don't know if he wanted me to go shopping with him or not.
Shouting out, he asks, "What's that for? Who are you?" The reply was, "I am Ned Kelly." In the doorway he stood, an imposing figure clad in a long overcoat. Barging in, Kelly pushed the station master back into the bedroom, where his wife and children were still in the bed. Kelly ordered John to finish dressing and told him, "You have to come with me and take up the rails. There's a special train coming." Having earlier shot 3 policemen,
Oh, shit.
Ned Kelly and his gang have been storming the area by robbing banks and train stations wearing bush armor.
I mean, that's like
The armor is crudely fashioned from
that
pebbles
is
and
just
other lumps
impressive,
of
if you
metal.
ask me.
The South Australian police have tracked him down using Aboriginal trackers, who know the country even better than Kelly and his gang. Now
That's
a large
smart.
group of police and trackers are on a train on their way to Glenrowan to get their man. Kelly knows that unless he stops the trackers, the police will always be onto him and the 3 others in his gang. Kelly's plan is to pull up the train tracks near a deep precipice and
Oh,
have the train fall to certain disaster. Dragging the station master from his house, he sets to work. They dig at the tracks and set their trap. With some time before the train arrives, the gang gather up the small population of Glenrowan and take them hostage at the local hotel.
real
Kelly's
Aussies.
gang are known for their good humor, and he is somewhat of a local folk hero. When he robs the banks, he burns the records, making it difficult for them to reclaim their loans. When he robs a bar, he gives free beer to all the locals. But the police are finally catching up with him, and Ned and his gang are
I
getting
mean, that's how you
desperate.
make yourself popular.
Despite
Buy
his
everyone's
reputation,
beer.
in the hotel, the hostages and the station master are told in no uncertain terms that if they try to signal the oncoming train, they will be shot.
Oh,
Ned
shit.
has
That's not
miscalculated the
good.
arrival of the train, and a long wait sets in. So Kelly and his gang decide to entertain themselves and their hostages while they wait. A teacher by the name of Thomas Kernow gave an account of what happened. Dan Kelly, Ned's brother, a short time after I entered the hotel, asked me to have a drink with him, and I drank with him at the bar. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Ned and Dan Kelly called several of the prisoners to engage in jumping with the hop, step and jump. Ned Kelly joined in with them and used a revolver in each hand as weights. The gang engaged in drinking and insisted music be played, that people danced and songs be sung, some of which were about the Kelly gang. Some of the gang overindulged themselves, but Ned stayed sober. With the time
What?
Let's go get it done.
I'll go as soon as I finish reacting to this video.
Well, you gotta hurry up.
There is like 5 minutes left.
dragging on, the teacher convinced the Kelly gang that his wife was ill and he had to take her home.
no.
Amazingly, the gang allowed them to leave, with the warning that they would be regularly checked upon, and if he were to try
Yeah.
and warn the train, that they would be silenced permanently. Once home, the teacher was racked by his conscience. He later said, "I could not rest, and I felt I must perform what was clearly my duty. I heard the train coming in the distance as I was harnessing the horse, and I immediately caught up the candle, scarf, and matches and ran down the line to meet the train. I ran on until I got to where those in the train would be able to see the danger signal for some distance. I then lit the candle and held it behind the red scarf. The guard on the train saw the signal and shouted out, 'What's the matter?' The teacher shouted back, 'The Kellys.' The driver slammed on the brakes and the train screeched along the track. At the last second, the train stopped,
Oh.
just in time. The police, the trackers, and several journalists disembarked from the train. The police were told many times that the Kelly gang were wearing armor, but they dismissed it as nonsense. Maybe the overactive imaginations of the settlers, or a joke.
Well, they
The
were
police
fucked.
set up their positions, surrounding the hotel, and a siege began. Reporting on the siege, the Australasian sketcher said, "The first brush was exceedingly hot. The police and the gang blazed away at each other in the darkness furiously. There was nothing but a succession of flashes and reports, the pinging of bullets in the air, and the shriek of the women prisoners in the hotel." The melee continued throughout the night, but the gang were completely outnumbered. In the early morning, Ned decided his best course of action was to try and escape before it got too late.
Yeah.
He was spotted by a policeman called Sergeant Steele. Steele had known the Kelly gang for years, and they were bitter enemies. Steele said, "It was then breaking day. I looked around and I saw a man stalking down. I thought he was a black fellow wrapped in a blanket and called on the others to be careful. I then saw him present a revolver and fire at a policeman.
Ah.
The police returned the fire, but to the surprise and incredulity of the police, the bullets had no effect.
Yeah, he's
One
wearing
shouted,
armor.
"He's a madman." Another, "He's the devil," and "He's the bunyip." Kelly began laughing. He taunted the police and shouted to his gang in the hotel to restart the fight. This carried on for 10 more minutes. A journalist wrote, "With the steam rising from the ground, it looked for all the world like the ghost of Hamlet's father, with no head, only a very long, thick neck. It was the most extraordinary sight I ever saw or read of in my life, and I felt fairly spellbound with wonder, and I could not stir or speak."
I mean, this guy's just smart.
However, Sergeant Steele was a cooler head. He later said, "I could see the bullets hitting him and staggering him for a moment. They had no further effect. I therefore thought he had armor on and determined to have a close shot at him." Steele aimed at Ned's unprotected legs and caught him with 2 shots. Steele's account continued, "We were in the open and he fell and cried, 'I'm done, I'm done.' I ran up to him then, and he turned savagely and tried to shoot me, but I pushed the revolver down. I had a great scuffle with him, but others ran up and his shots had no effect. We found a bag of ammunition, and when we divested him of his armor, we found that he was weak from loss of blood. I was strained in the scuffle, but we got our man." Found guilty and sentenced, Kelly's last words were, "Ah, well, I suppose it has come to this."
Yep.
Kelly has since become an Australian folk hero.
Yeah.
His
I can
armour
see
still
why.
survives and can still be seen today at the State Library of Victoria. If you like this video, and we hope you do,
Cool.
please consider supporting us on Patreon. We need more patrons to help us make more videos like these. If not, then please subscribe or share this video. Anything you can do to help would be great.
I mean, let's face it, that guy was thinking, was really thinking smart. Kind of like that one guy who had, like, a substance abuse problem, who hired a bunch of, like, construction workers to be at a bank and have a certain uniform on, and then he robbed the bank wearing the same uniform as everyone else, so that was pretty smart. And can you think of any criminals that were like, huh, that's surprisingly smart of them? You know, like, I don't know, like maybe that Paris heist at the Louvre. I'll see y'all in the next one. I have to help my uncle with some shopping.